first responder or a patriot looking for a place to put your skill set, your thoughts, and/or want to help continue the mission? You have come to the right place. We are the People's Patriot Project, and we want to put the shock and awe when it comes to meeting the needs of our veterans and first responders. We are dealing with a new enemy in today's world where the wounds are not always seen. We want you to be part of this mission in saving lives and making a difference. Welcome to Paid for Playtime. We got your 6 at 6. Now here's your host, Shad Turner of Veterans Unite Podcast and the People's Patriot Project. And as always, Patriot Pride.
Oh my goodness. Okay. That was my attempt at doing the beginning. So here we are.
No problem.
Here.
So for everyone,
buttons to push.
yes. And for everyone just tuning in, welcome to the abbreviated version of We Got Your 6 at 6. Tonight's show has definitely kicked off a little bit later than normal, but we're still going to do the intro like we always do. So I'm Shad Turner from Veterans Unite Podcast. We've got Andrea from People's Patriot Project joining us as always. Mark is MIA because of events from the weekend. And we also have Derek Iozio from Catch 22 joining us as our special guest for this impromptu edition. However, before we kick things off, we are still doing what we always do, and we're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. So if you can stand, please stand. Taking a hat, if you're wearing a hat, please take it off, and let's get ready to do the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. I'd like to think, I would say amen in my head at the end of that. Amen. That seems to go with it for me. And after this weekend, we got a whole bunch of big amens, I hope. So, yeah.
Now, y'all had a hell of a weekend this weekend, didn't y'all?
Yeah, we did. It was, okay, so it's a weekend of, so I don't even know where to start. I'm going to say extended family because I'll put a picture up. Well, actually right here. We'll just start. We started with this. So this is, now Stephen John wasn't able to make it. So we had these 4 and then Jen's guitarist, Jared. And we did this fundraiser on Friday night. And these guys, what a bunch of troopers. Dom Coors, Jen Ford, BJ Leggett, and the real Doug Lane played in, it was a sunny Friday, and it was about 58 degrees in the sun, and when the sun went down, she got to about 36, and they stood on stage in the parking lot, and they played their beautiful hearts out, and it was amazing. We did it as a fundraiser for a veteran who did 2 Afghanistan tours, and he's a law enforcement officer in a neighboring town, and his house just burned down. And so, it was awesome. The community came together. We had I don't even know the final numbers. We will tally that up and bring that in one day. But 3 of them came the night before. And when you put these amazing musicians in a room together with their guitars and their voices, and somebody who's not guitar or voice at all, and then Mark's kind of he does guitar and he sings, you just sit in awe and listen to them jam session, right? The hard part is, and I gotta thank Scotty Sexton as well. Scotty, the voice of reason, will come along and say, hey, you guys, we got a show to do tomorrow. You might want to think about going to bed tonight. It was 2. I think I left at about 1:15 the first night and went home, that's like a 40-minute drive. So it was pretty sleepy drive. And then I was back up there by I was gonna cook breakfast Friday morning. Anyway, early, and then they performed Friday night, and it ended. They went and grabbed a bite to eat. We cleaned up. I want to say it got to pretty much 2:00 that night. I didn't even go home. I slept on the couch, and up and at it at 6:00 the next morning. Now I'm not complaining. This is just like I'm wired still. And then on Saturday morning, then we brought this in the ruck. It's our first annual ruck, tuck, and roll. I have to tell you, I'm 10 times smarter today about a lot of things than I was yesterday. That is running an event, making sure you have backup plans because sometimes plans fall through. We didn't have food trucks, even though it says food trucks on there. We figured out food. We didn't have beer trucks, so we figured out beer. And we had ruckers, we had cornholers. And we had a stage. We didn't have a stage 2 days before. We got a stage, beautiful stage. Thank you, Jim, from Freedom Stages. There's a much better name. And they got all set up to play. And then we also had another band, Jake Nelson Band came. It was super, super fun, busy, invigorating. Jared, thank you. Brian, thank you. I can't even tell you guys, my biggest thanks, my biggest, truest thanks is I sent them this, so they already know, but as a non-veteran, and I'm privy to a world that pays back, even though they've already paid it forward. They're amazing. They're amazing. And they've been super nice. I mean, I'm part of the group and I appreciate that. And it's not just because I bring the food, I don't think, or the beer or whatever. I truly appreciate the stories, the music. They teach you. If I were patient enough to learn how to play guitar at my age, I'm sure they would teach me. I have to get over my impatience probably and my short, cold fingers all the time. So, yeah, they're amazing. They're amazing. We had a great time. And one of them is actually here. I'm going to put her on. I'm hoping she's ready to roll. But here is Jen Ford.
Hey.
Oh my gosh, you look great after a long day of travel. Wow.
I just brushed my hair.
That's nice.
What's up, Shad?
Not much. How you doing?
Good. Really kind of tired.
I can imagine. You need that big ass cup of coffee.
No, I need to go to sleep. We had a ball. We had a great time. Did you see my TikTok I made of Mark? Me and Andrea we're picking on Mark last night because he was sleeping on the couch. First, we were all playing music and sitting on couches, and Mark just kind of gave up and decided to lay on the floor, and he was over there talking in his sleep. And then finally we all decided to go to bed, and he moved to the couch, and I came down to talk to Andrea, and we were being real quiet in the kitchen, and Mark just started hollering every 2 minutes. He was like, "Oh, my ticker, I'm dying." We were like, what is going on? So we went to go check on him and watch the video. It's on my TikTok.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. Andrea was picking on him. I was trying to make noise and make him wake up. And he finally,
now here's a quick question. Was Mark the first one to fall asleep?
He was the first one to fall asleep.
Did y'all break out the Sharpies? The first person to fall asleep, you got to Sharpie them.
We would have had to be a little nice because he is a school teacher. So that would have been hilarious, though. Honestly, the video probably covered it because we were trying everything we could because he seems like he's vaguely aware that we're actually asking him questions. Asked him where, I'm like, I found you $20. And he's like, where did you find it? I'm like, it was in your pocket. Was not. So he kind of can carry the conversation, but he's not waking up. And it was hilarious because when he jumps up, we turned and ran.
So I'm trying to get better at TikTok, and I figured out how to do captions. So I went up to the room and I let it play, and I let TikTok fill out the captions, and the stuff that TikTok was giving me back was not what Mark was saying. So I had to edit but he was just mumbling and like mumble yelling at the same time. So TikTok was writing all this crazy captions, and I had to go fix it. But it was so funny, and just me and Andrea were the only ones that saw it. It was so hilarious.
Oh my
He's like, you're
goodness.
both grounded.
Nice.
Okay. High C guy, that high C.
It was fun. We had a good time. The weather was awesome. It's very cold compared to Texas.
Yeah, it's not even cold yet, but I know what you're saying.
It's 84 degrees when I got off the plane.
It's
40
not,
degrees different than what y'all are at.
I wonder what we got right now. Let's see, because it's all of 6:45, and it is. But it's 46 now. I just have to tell you, it was 78 degrees last weekend here. I didn't want to tell you that, but yeah. Thanks, Chad. I know that you know how I feel about that.
84, man.
I know that you know this. We did have a very cool guest as well from Puerto Rico. We had Michael Ledford up. I think he's kind of from the Chattanooga area, but he's moved around a lot. And he was such a great man. He was like on top of stuff, but he's nonstop energy. I think he was 5 layers deep into the t-shirts by the end of Friday night. And he was wanting to wear my leggings under his pants because I had extra leggings on. But yeah, no, and a shout out to him and Mark, who will, I don't know if he wakes up, he'll join us. That might be Ledford. Was happy to help out. Facebook user, this one. So then we also had like Scotty Sexton ran behind the scenes stuff. He just all of a sudden was like, I know what they need, and brought out heaters into the parking lot, tables out there. And then Jesse Sams showed up, and thank you, Jesse. He won't be behind the scenes. He needs to be front of the scenes. We need to use him like that. And then Lee Williams, what an amazing, amazing guy.
Mark!
Look at this guy.
You missed, I told him the TikTok story.
Surprise.
Jen, I think there's like a threat out there that we're gonna get it back in non-ending formats. So I know, don't sleep before everybody else. That's all I can say.
The horn on the RV is much louder than the horn on my truck. I know that. Would you agree, Andrea?
That was the yeah, he might have almost scared the pachisis out of me. So the Parcheesi. That's it. It's not only loud, but it honks like up here where your head is. It scared the crap out of me.
We had a good time.
It's got to be Tony Turner or Stephen John. We missed you too, Stephen. Do you, if it's one of you two. And then Brian Gibson, thank you. Here he says it went from 31 to 84 when he got home. He drove like a 12-hour drive.
It's weird. I was just outside. It was like 94 when I stepped outside this morning.
That is weird.
They missed the good weather here.
They did.
Well, it was beautiful. It was actually nice. I come home and my son is screaming at my husband, "It's 62 degrees in here. Are you trying to kill me?" And he's like, "It's hot in here." And I'm like, "I'm freezing." Nobody's on the same thermostat.
I don't know who was in charge of the thermostat last night, but I did have to go out to my truck to sleep because the house was so hot.
Really?
That's not even such a thing.
You're walking around in a t-shirt in 46-degree weather.
It was a good time. It was a good time.
It was a lot of fun. We definitely want to come up in the summertime when it's 147 degrees in Texas and we're dying, and we can go up to Minnesota where it's like 90, because that'll probably be nice.
I agree. I think that's how it's gonna be. It's how'd you like the Mall of America?
Oh, I loved it. I don't know. So Jared and I, you talked about it, and I forgot that the Mall of America is up there, and so like we were on our way back, and Jared was like, "I'm so tired. Oh, I need some Gatorade. I walked too many laps and had too much fun last night." And then I said, "Okay, well, let's see. We'll take you back to the house, and maybe we'll go to the Mall of America just for an hour because I wanted to take advantage of that." So I called Dom and BJ on the phone. They're like, "Yeah, we totally want to go." And then Jared's like, "All right, I'll go. I just need a Gatorade." So then we went and just kind of walked around, and that was enough. Like just to see it and say we've been there, and if we come back, then maybe we'll do some more stuff there. But it was pretty cool to see all the roller coasters. We went and had because Dom has to eat like 17 times a day. He's like, "I'm hungry," and so we went to Wahlburgers, and he had a hamburger, and BJ got a peanut butter cheeseburger with bacon jelly on it. And I'm not too sure about that combination, but he said it was the best hamburger he's ever had in his life. So whatever.
And they sometimes put eggs on it. It's kind of cool. Breakfast burgers.
Where'd Derek go? I'm talking too much.
I'm here.
Okay.
Yes, Derek, thank you for being here tonight.
You're interrupting.
I'm sorry.
You're welcome.
He was doing something important.
So what's going on, Derek?
Same old stuff. Had a good weekend. Spent it with Operation Texas Strong. They came down to El Paso. That's the organization that donates the RVs.
That's awesome.
We looked at some property and making plans to get this thing off the road. And they brought a truckload of donation stuff down here for our next event. So that's where I was. I had a stack of blankets and towels, and I guess a poltergeist knocked them off the table. So
I see you, Brian. Thank you. Great to meet you,
Brian.
Here's a
There's
quiz.
another Brian.
And
we'll see how many. And Andrea, you don't have to answer this, but remember at the Mall of America, everything is indoors, 100% indoors. There's a whole amusement park. How many full-size carnival ride features are at the Mall of America?
I would say I saw 5 roller coasters. Probably. I saw Ferris wheel, carousel. I don't know how many rides there are, but there was probably at least 20.
There you go. 27 ride features are at the Mall of America, just to kind of let you know. Scotty Sexton, I took him there the first night just to give him a look, and he just walked through and was just like, "This is all inside?" And I'm like, 100% inside.
Wow. So do the roller coasters go through each individual store and you could just grab stuff off the rack?
They should have thought about
idea.
that.
My gosh.
Most of the roller coasters triggered all of us because we were like, "Oh God, I can't do that. I get vertigo. I have TBI." We're like, "Yeah, I can't ride roller coasters anymore." That's when you realize how old you are when you're like, "No, I don't want to ride that." That's a bad idea. Pretty fun though, I think, for probably teenagers. Derek, you're out in El Paso?
Yes, I am.
I used to be stationed at Bliss. I had my first son at William Beaumont.
Okay. Nice.
I like El Paso.
It's my second time here. I was stationed here way back when, in the 70s. William Beaumont is a brand new hospital now, actually on Fort Bliss.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like the dry air.
Yeah.
It's always sunny. I always like the sun being out.
Yeah.
My kid's dad one day was following me to lunch when I was pregnant with our oldest son, and he was right behind me, and a tumbleweed came off Trans Mountain on the 84, and
Okay.
it was as big as a house. Like, this sucker was huge, and I couldn't go anywhere, but I was in a Jeep, so I just went through it, and it went over the Jeep and then stuck to the front of my ex-husband's car for like 2 miles, and I was screaming like, ah! I'm looking in the rearview mirror, and there's a tumbleweed stuck to the front of his little car. Crazy. You don't see that everywhere you go. Not in Texas.
No. El Paso has the winds. We may not have anything else, but we got wind.
You sure do. Sandstorms.
It blows the real estate around.
Yes, it does. I remember Chico's Tacos out there. I love Chico's.
Oh,
Well, I might not love it now because that was good drunk food when I was in my 20s. I'm a grown up now. I don't know if I can handle all that grease.
it's like the White Castle of El Paso, I guess.
Tiny little rolled tacos
Yeah,
with lots of cheese on top.
it's only good if you're very intoxicated.
Might have been good for some people last night.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go and eat
Well, we
dinner with
did
my
hear-
family.
All right.
I just wanted to pop in. I love you guys. Thank you so much
As
for bringing
you
us
should.
out.
Thank you.
Good seeing you. Take
Good
care.
seeing you,
Thanks for
Jen.
being amazing, Jen.
Love y'all.
Love
I had
you.
a great time. We'll talk soon.
Bye, Jen.
What did I miss?
Oh man, you missed everything. They told us a full breakdown of the TikTok
Oh
video.
my gosh, she was
And
here.
all,
I understand
Well,
that's
I
going to go soon.
although I did
I have to
ask
tell you,
them
though.
if, since you were the first one to fall asleep, if the Sharpies came out, and they said that no, because you're a school teacher, they had to leave the Sharpies in the drawer. But so you kind of got
I'm
lucky.
Sure, I was not the first to fall asleep. I just happened to be the first in a public area to fall asleep.
Hey,
It was
Wow.
semi-public. You were behind the couch, but it was the talking that kind of gave it away. Oh, my ticker! I'm sorry. It's a healing, laughing with you, not at you.
I'm
It was-
glad you had the
Just for
chance
the
to enjoy
record, too,
yourself.
I know you're worried about this. No, I know you're worried about this, but we did check on you first to make sure you were okay before we started the video. Because if something really, if your ticker really was going down, we wouldn't have put that on TikTok. That would be sick.
That would have been God. That would have been poetic justice just to have that. I wish I was dying now
Yep.
a little bit.
Yeah. Thanks. Throw that guilt right on top of everything.
Hey, this is funny.
Yeah.
Isn't he moving?
We honestly
So-
didn't do Sharpies. I might have lied a little bit. We just didn't do Sharpies because just in case you did wake up fast, you're bigger than us. You might have caught us both, and we'd have both been in trouble. And then we got grounded anyway. So
Yeah, I did ground you both. I did happen to show
thank you.
that video within my household, and they were very impressed with the restraint I had at the time. That is not the customary exposure that most people get. So you might have been blessed a little bit.
well, and to be fair, since I had already maybe woken you up once in the last 24 hours, I didn't contact anybody in your household to say, hey, can you get Mark up to come stop in the show? So I'm glad you're here. Sorry you're here. It's a thing.
There's some people that are a little fired up. We'll get over it. A little fired up. They may be sitting around the table with a bunch of plates in front of them, but it's all good.
You didn't have to leave.
It's all good.
You know what I had for dinner?
What's that?
You know what I had for dinner?
Wow.
I had a big chunk of leftover steak grilled by Mark and potatoes made with love by Corey. And it was as nummy today as it was last night. And I couldn't eat anymore. So the steaks are like this thick. And I'm exaggerating because it's kind of what guys do. It was this thick. But close. It was that close. And I mean,
What are you
half
talking
a
about?
chunk, like fishing. Like it was this big.
Oh, the fish. Okay,
Yes.
all right.
Fish
I get it.
stories. Yeah. I don't.
We
What
didn't
kind
do
of
a
sick
very
things
good
do you
job of
think?
covering that. I think Michael Ledford has a video of that. Many years ago when I was doing foster care, I felt that I have a philosophy that the trail or the road to someone's soul is through their belly, and so I always made sure that we had good food around all the time. We gonna hear the national anthem now?
Is that what that was?
So as our gift to the artists and to the people that showed up, we had all drug out everything you could think of steak dinner for everyone, and it would almost sound like bragging if I said the words that people were saying as they're sitting around the table, but it is a piece of pride for me. It is my love message, I guess, is cooking and taking care of people. And we had ribeyes, sauteed onions and mushrooms, crab cakes, hash browns, tequila berry salad. And it was an absolute 100% pleasure to prepare that meal for those guys.
That sounded pretty good, man.
I mean, you did get this message from Shomer, so I mean, you can keep going if you want to. It says stop talking food and then feed me Seymour. I don't know if that's voice to text meaning some more or is it code
No.
Seymour?
Seymour from Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh, yes. Got it.
I can Shomer, we'll make sure that happens. We had the awesome opportunity to cook twice when we were down in Illinois with Bob Rush. We made Italian steak sandwiches, smoked Italian steak sandwiches one night, and then the next day we made 21 pork butts that honestly was the best pulled pork I won't say ever eaten, but I've ever made.
Awesome.
Very good.
Yeah, that's another video. We're going to have a compilation of videos.
So here's a question. Since y'all had such a bang-up weekend this weekend, are y'all ready for next weekend?
I mean, the mission continues. The show must go on. We are excited. We know it's going to be we were talking over our itinerary this morning. It's like, I mean, honestly, why do we do this to ourselves? Well, because the mission is that important.
Yes.
It's frustrating. So I'll say thank you guys for coming on tonight. Thank you for pushing this. I was pretty worked up this morning when we made the decision to cancel the show. Pretty worked up finding out in the middle of maybe a little tiny nap that I was having. All of a sudden it was live. Someone brought it to my attention. That's okay. It has to happen. And I'm glad now we are, I think we're episode 72 now, 72 straight weeks. And I know it's more than that because we didn't keep the ones. We're probably around 90 straight shows.
I was gonna say we might have a dozen that were Zooms that we didn't record. They might be on Facebook somewhere, but we didn't record them. So
yeah, so very exciting. And now I know that we haven't broke our stream, so to speak, and or streak. And but so next weekend, where are we heading, Andrea? Did you already tell everyone?
No, we didn't. We're heading down to Round Rock. We'll fly into Austin, and our event is in Round Rock. OP Vet Fest. And, Denny, sorry, we could have just had Denny on probably, but if it's anything like where we might have been the last week, he's probably busy and got stuff going on. But when Mark set our itinerary, we're flying in at like midnight. And so we'll get up and we will run out to the event and probably spend the whole entire day. And I believe it's 11:30, I think Dom Kurz is on. And BJ's going to come visit as well, BJ Leggett. Those are the plans. I don't know if anything's solid yet, but
Well,
so we can
Jared
catch up
even
with
talked
those.
about coming too.
Oh, yeah, Jared did too. Jared Steele is Jen Ford's guitarist, and what an amazingly talented young man. That is so cool. So he may come as well. And I don't even know what time stuff is. I haven't even looked at the schedule for down there. But we fly out at like 6:40 Sunday morning because, we got to be back in time for the show on Sunday night. So no pain, no pain. This is what we do. And you guys know why we do this. So
I don't know. Again, I might have missed some pieces. And we did a terrible job of showing and collecting the exposure of this event this last week, but Jared Still comes in. We've never met Jared Still, and Jen Ford comes in like literally 10 minutes after we're supposed to start. They hop on stage. It was one of the coolest experiences I've ever experienced. They're not even a band. They've never even played together, and it just came together, and they played together, and this Jared guy will watch people. This tells you his craft. He watches what they're playing, sees where their hands are, figures out the key, and he just jumps in and goes. And it was just people in the crowd were like, "Hey, this is a great band. Where do you get a band like this?" And I'm like, "They're not a band. They never played together before." What? How do you do that? I'm like, they don't know each other's songs. They haven't spent any time together. And that was another piece that they all came together and was just like, this was the best part because of the collaboration. BJ Leggett was like, I got about 100 songs in my head right now that is going to have to come out, and I need you guys. I won't say that we handpicked, but we did handpick. We knew the personalities of most of these people and said these people would be great in the room together. Now, for the record, in our travels and every time we get a chance to pull other veteran first responder musicians and influencers and boots on the ground organizations together, we haven't found a rotten egg yet, and we are all moving forward together and just making a huge significant difference. I wanted the exposure in the event for our artists to be therapeutic and to be I can't think of recalibrative, and they agreed. And it sounds like I'm talking about ourselves, and it doesn't work unless everyone's kind of in the same philosophical kind of mindset. And when we get a chance to get our paws on them, Scotty was upset with me because he didn't get all the full frontal that he wanted. We tried to squeeze it out at the end, and it was just a little too cold outside. I don't know what that, it just.
Oh my God. You think that's bad hearing about it? I think I witnessed it. This is yep.
The things you cannot unsee.
No, exactly. No. Mark, to your statement, I had a long conversation with Jen as she was driving from the airport, and there's a lot of details in it, but one of them was that if we do this a lot, she recommends that we do it just like we did it, because they felt valued, they felt loved, they felt cared for, and she appreciated exactly exactly what we did from the hand warmers. I don't know if you guys know these little hand warmer thingies. They got like sand in them, pound them together, and they warm up. Stick them in your gloves. These guys were sticking them in their shoes, back pockets, everywhere. So from the little hand warmers all the way to the big steak dinner last night, these guys were they felt very taken care of. So that's the goal. I mean, we get to sit back and think about this, and whether by plan or mistake, this fit right into our idea of the recalibration restorative weekend that we offer veterans that we come across, many veterans that we come across. And having said that, in the future, we will add a day at the end that will just be a day. You stay up as late as you want that night before, sleep all the next day, and then fly out the following day, just because we did run them. And they ran themselves. I mean,
they did some
Yeah.
extra trips we weren't aware of, and all of a sudden people weren't where they're supposed to be. Oh, what's going on? And
Yeah.
I'll see if I can get through this, because so overjoyed and so emotionally raw. The piece where you're in a place where there's so much love, so much just closeness. I can't tell you how many people had a moment of breakdown, and it was perfect breakdown. It wasn't anything like they're like, oh my gosh, woe is me. They're like, is this what this really is supposed to feel like? Because there was almost like, I don't deserve to feel this good right now. And we had time after time having our first responder down in Cottage Grove get up there. He couldn't even get words out on the stage with the amount of emotion and compassion and what he was feeling. And you know what? That gives me just the giggles and the feels all over, because I know the People's Patriot Project is doing what it's supposed to be doing. I got Michael Ledford sleeping in the room right above me, and he is just absolutely enthralled. He's from Puerto Rico. He runs an organization called Roll Out PTSD, and he is absolutely gee about the work that we talked about we want to do and collaborated over the weekend. And I feel too good about what we're doing, and it's not going to stop.
Yes. Awesome.
Yeah, that it was a whole weekend of soaking it in. It's overwhelming at the end. I do have to say, at the end of the day, when you sit down, it's
How are you up? You told me you were cleaning the house, and I'm like, I took a shower and I sat down for, I don't even think it was 5 minutes. I was like, boop, gonzo.
Totally, but you had to, I mean, seriously, you loaded stuff up while I was just driving people to the airport, right? And then you also had to unload it back up and then deliver things. And no, I sat down to take a nap, and all I could think was, I'm home alone and I need a vacuum so bad. I just couldn't do it.
I'd like to do a quick shout out to Pleasureland RV, who actually went over the top on their give. They ended up giving us a 38-foot RV that was the headquarters, was the green room, was the place where we got to sit close together and experience the artists, and family and friends popped in, and it hauled all of our gear and the sound system. And Pleasureland of Ramsey, Minnesota, thank you. They donated it to us, zero cost. I said, don't bother filling it up when you get here. And I'm just like, I thank you, Pleasureland. You're part of the mission. You're saving lives, man. That's what it comes down to. You're saving lives, and you were able to make what we're doing. They would not have had the same exposure if we didn't have that RV, and it would have been a lot worse. Only in the fact that I am a hardy Minnesota. I'm a hardy Wyomingian, but that's okay. and I don't normally need a coat, and I was out there, and it was getting cold, and I know that these people had no idea what was going to hit them, and it was a little colder than we thought it would be, and but again, jump and everything happened. On our list of to do, we will have the hand warmers there if we're doing it during that time, and it doesn't hurt to have those on hand anyway. And we, again, like you said, we learned so much. And so, but back to my thing, the whole reason why I brought it up. Thank you, Pleasureland, for the amazing gift of that RV. It actually did make a huge part of what we got done.
Wait, I just thought of 3 new, so we got to say thank you, Rachel Ormeyer.
Yep.
Okay. Rachel, she gathered all of the silent auction things for the fundraiser. She sold a ton of t-shirts for the fundraiser. I only saw her twice Friday night. That's where our worlds were running. And I need to throw a shout out to Ray Kane from Cottage Grove, but he's Yellow Ribbon, Beyond the Yellow Ribbon, and it's got a new name coming, the Southeastern River. I won't remember. It's like 4 words. Tomorrow maybe. And he's part of the American Legion as well. And he also, I mean, the coordinating and the contacts. He went to the city planning meeting because we fenced off everything. Those 2 rocked it for weeks before and Friday night. And then he's probably not watching, but Warren Coombs, dude, you're the Rocket Man. I mean, seriously, we needed more heating lamps, and poof, they appeared. And then he's like, "What about your singers up there? Aren't their fingers getting cold on the guitar?" And he went and got these little space heaters, and he lined them up in front of the stage, and tables. I mean, just those people are amazing.
Give these guys, we got to say, our very own Scotty Sexton was the man on the spot on the Get Her Done and Let's Rock and Roll. He helped left and right, troubleshooting generators, troubleshooting the motorhome when it wasn't working, and clicking on right, and breakers breaking, and moving the heat. What do you even call those? The heater trees. I don't even. Out to the parking lot, and moving tables, and the guy was just there and made stuff happen. And again, so Scotty Sexton, thank you for all you did. And then we had Brian Gibson with Project iHeart drive up from Illinois, and it was just a huge moral support. He had a donation box out for his organization, and turned around and gave all the proceeds that he gathered in that box back to the People's Patriot Project. So we thank you, Brian, for being there, for being with us, for being part of it. It's something we've been talking about. He brought up the words of Graphene Dome a couple times. And we know we haven't launched everything what that's about. Derek's part of the conversation. It's coming, and it's just going to feel good, man. Gosh, it's good.
I just got to say, Adam Jones is in the house, and Adam, I think in this wintertime stuff, we're gonna have to plan something in your neck of the woods and bring some of these musicians down to one of your events, if you're hearing me. And then, Mark, I want to move into Saturday then, because all those people are involved Friday, all day Friday. And I think Gibson, he did probably check out. He was going to head to bed. He drove home this morning, so he's probably pretty tired. There we go. Thank you, Adam. I'm super excited about that. He is down. We might want a little more than 3 months to plan for it, but we will definitely get something in the works. So on Saturday, so here's some backstory stuff that it non-important at this moment, but we didn't have any food trucks show up Saturday, and it's on the ad, so people are coming and they're wanting food truck food, and we scrambled, we punted.
For the record, we had 3 food trucks under contract to be there.
Yeah. So, and then that was one thing. And then, so we thought we also had a stage, and but we just hadn't spoken to the right person. The person informed us that it actually couldn't travel, not street legal. And so on Wednesday, I was without a stage, kind of, the crap shoot. Like, what do we do? I don't know anything about this stages and whatever. And so, Shomer, thank you for the connection, because the most, and I don't have pictures. We'll have this stuff ready for next week, but we had a stage show up. The most amazing guy who, I'm gonna give him credit, but his dog, I think Teddy. See, I can remember that name. I
You
can't.
might have stole the show.
Ted, he's the PR guy. And so they came with their most amazing stage, and then UHR. So United Human Resources, they reached out a few months ago and they said, hey, we want to do a fundraising event for your nonprofit. What kind of thing can we do to help out? I thought a ruck would be easy. I didn't plan on, 36 hours of fundraising, because we didn't even know Officer Nicholas. His house hadn't even burned down when we started this whole thing. Right. And so we thought, well, since the musicians were coming, whatever. So, UHR, Dan Iverson at UHR, I don't know what to say. Can I tell him what my son said when Mark and Dan were talking, and it kind of turned into, a man embrace. And Brendan's like, I've never even seen him hug anybody in the office, and I didn't picture you two as the huggy. Like, look at Peterson. So it was just kind of one of those touching moments where, of course, it must have made Brendan uncomfortable, so he had to make a joke. But he cares. I don't know if he had any idea what this. We didn't know what this would be like. And he got on the stage and he's like, we're going to be doing this forever. This is amazing. We want to continue this. So I am the non-veteran in the room.
Stop.
Non-military. But listen, when you get a company who doesn't have, now he's got a good friend who's a veteran, and I spent a lot of time visiting with him. And when you get someone like that who comes in without a clue about what it's going to entail, and he really gave us reins to do stuff with. We had Brendan, Amy, and Hannah, and they were amazing. And we did this, and then they want to do it forever. That's a testament to the people that came to support, and the people that came to be part of the Ruck, to be part of the Zero Ruck. You guys, they have no clue what it is, right? So there weren't a lot of participants, but I think next year every cornhole player will be in the Zero Marathon.
Well, the crazy amount, and I don't think the crazy amount of troubleshooting, which I don't think it just was one of the things, was intense. It was crazy intense. And UHR handled it with class, with suave. And they're just like, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, why are we doing this sometimes? And we had even a moment. Apparently, there was a rumor that I had checked out at one point, and this lets you know how intense everything was. And I totally get it, and I totally understand. But
I was overwhelmed.
Someone had said that Mark had checked out. I was done. I was taking a break, and I'm in with one of our donors having a conversation. How are things going? What can we do to make this better? I mean, the great thing, and that's the question I'm always asking, what can we do to make it better? All of a sudden, the RV door flies open. Andrea comes storming in. She goes, Mark, we don't have time for you to take a time off. You got to get out here. There's stuff to do. And I said, thank you, dear.
And then I see that she's there, and I'm like, so if when you're done, you could just kindly come out and have a chat with me. I didn't. It was a moment. Because I was way over there and the RV was way over there, and I just couldn't take any more questions. I was at my 2.2 hour limit of sleep the night before limit, 2 nights in a row. And I just was like, I don't have any answers anymore. I'm plumb out of answers. Where's Peterson? Oh, he said he's checking out. He can't do this. And I'm like,
Rumors.
No,
Oh,
he's not checking out. Where is he? And so sorry. I'm sorry to Susan, right? I'm very sorry to
No, Stephanie.
Stephanie, sorry. I didn't, not that that's an excuse. I shouldn't behave like that anyway, but I thought it was just Peterson in there.
It
Yeah.
was awesome, and only in the fact that it shows me how connected you are to this. And there was a lot of emotional connection, and we were doing amazing. It's good. I want to do a shout out to the Mankato Cornhole.
Yes.
Because here's the people. Oh my gosh. They're coming to have fun. They're coming to do their game, and there are cash prizes for this. And time after time after time, they play the game, and the next thing I hear in the background over the microphone, donate it back. All these people came to do their game and do their fun and give it all back. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, thank you. Great work. It's going to
Jason
get bigger.
Zilke.
It's going to get better. They want that event to be indoors. We do have a venue that I think is going to be very awesome to do an indoor event if we do it this time of year again. And thank you for everyone.
I have to just say, Jason Zilke, I apologize. I have the thank you. So again, I don't normally run the backside of the show, and that little thank you that just popped up, I've had it in the queue. Sorry, I didn't hit enter. Jason, thank you so much for being there. We had originally had another sponsor they had offered to help run the cornhole tournament, and they also didn't show up. And I hadn't even completely confirmed. I mean, we thought we were confirmed with Jason, but I hadn't spoken to him for quite some time. And then all of a sudden he's like, how would you like to do this? And I don't really, I throw bags in the front yard for fun with the kids. And
the ringer, the axe thrower, Adam Jones.
He just he came right in. He took over, Jason did, and he ran the whole thing. And I can't tell you how appreciative I am of that, because I know that we can draw up brackets and do this, but the rest of us were a little bit busy. So, if we could, I don't know what the insurance would run, but yeah, axe throwing would be super fun. Shomer, if you're still around, you figure that out for next year. See what we got to do.
What does it cost to throw axes? And I don't know that I want an axe in Andrea's hand in case she thinks I'm checking out again.
You know what you got to do to avoid that. You just don't disappear. We have radios. This is the funniest thing. I don't even know where my radio was the whole day. So I never had radio contact with anybody, but we will. You have to remind me. Pay attention next time. So.
Well, I think the malfunction of the radios was the fact that all of us were so busy at any given moment that we're not paying attention to anything else in the world. We were just troubleshooting, getting it done, and making things happen. And it's and some of you guys may be thinking, what kind of wreck was this if you're doing that much troubleshooting? It's probably not nearly as bad as I'm making it sound. It just, people have needs. People have, what's this? What's that? Where does the water go? Where does the beer go? Who knew there were so many laws and rules that surround the distribution of beer? Because we reached out to our breweries that on our punch card and said, hey, what can we do to get one of your kegs out? Can't do it, because then we got to have special laws, special distribution, special people standing there watching it, someone watching those people, and I'm just like, forget this.
Wow.
We even had a guy, I won't throw his name out there and throw him under the bus. We had a guy that was ready to go steal a beer trailer, steal it, and bring it in. And I'm like, I asked him, I said, what happened to the beer trailer? And he's like, someone else took it.
Oh, shit.
I'm like,
we did maybe have that plan. Yeah. Yes. That was crazy. But can I so on the good side of things, I met, I'm a heart pressed Rachel. So Combat Vets Motorcycle Club, and I believe she's from New Prague. And I'm sorry, her friend's name is I
CBMA
might
just
like
went on.
I will remember tomorrow the names and stuff. But so I had a very long chat because they came up just to see how the ruck was run and ask questions about the event and just the fact that so what we think is a multitude of questions and bridges sparking, maybe not burning, wasn't even apparent to most people that were there. The fact that there was no electricity to start out with, that was apparent because we couldn't, play music or put the computers up and all that good stuff. But that got figured out quickly. That was really the only thing that anybody knew on the outside. The rest of it just kind of went smoothly. We was outside. It was a beautiful day. And that was a testament when she came and said, we want to see this. Looks like a fun event. And I'm sorry we're getting here late. And what is a 0.0 marathon? And all those fun questions that all of a sudden you're thinking, wait, it really isn't as bad as because I'm running with all the questions. I just want to say I remember the first golf tournament I ran, which was probably like 15 years ago. And maybe not, I don't know. But that's how cool it gets because I just know that everyone gets better and there's fewer questions. The golf tournament now, I wasn't even in town. I was in somewhere, Texas, I think. Georgia. I was in Georgia when they ran the tournament. And I might have gotten 2 questions about where something was, which were really easy to answer because you find great help and you do things that work, and then it just is wonderful. So anyway, enough about that because we'll probably talk about it again next week. Shad, we haven't seen you for a while. How are things going?
Things are going. Basically just, doing what I can to stay busy a day at a time. Now, I do have, for anyone in the Houston area, yes, I'm going to put a shameless plug for myself out there. For anyone in the Houston area, if you are needing any kind of exterior cleaning services done, I am now doing a 25% discount for veterans, first responders, and I'm actually going to throw Gold Star families, and I'm kind of thinking about seniors in there also. So I'm kind of throwing a big ring in the hat there.
And well, what is it called,
So,
Shad?
What's that?
What's it called?
Oh, you mean how can people get things done? They call the Navy Man can.
The Navy Man
The
can.
Navy Man can.
Hold on 1 second. I'm typing. Hang on.
Okay.
And
See.
can I get a contact number for that?
The Navy Man can. 713-594-8883. So yes.
Okay, that was a lot.
That's awesome.
So
wait, I'm gonna put that little discount in there. So awesome.
Andrea, I do want to, and there's no way to do this shout out, but I do want to. One of the great experiences of the event was because it was in a public place, because it wasn't shut down to everyone else. The amount of support that we got from people that just came by. There was a guy walking through the park. He's like, "What's going on?" And he was talking to the owner of UHR, and he shared, "Well, this is the People's Patriot Project event, and we're helping support veterans and first responders." And he just throws out $50, and then they're like, "Well, grab some beer out of the cooler," and he went over and grabbed a couple cocktails or beers, and but just even the fact that we got to give to people, to the community that didn't know, they came in and listened to the Jake Nelson band, and it was so awesome just to stand up, look around, and watch people who didn't have any clue about us and what we were doing, just be able to have a chance to listen to the Jake Nelson band and be able to be exposed to us. And so that was awesome. It was fun to watch.
There were several. There was a family. I just happened to be checking on our water person at the head of the trail. And this 2 or 3 young families all the way up to grandparents were just going for a walk. And somebody must have lived nearby. And at the tail end was a young mom and a little one, and we had a little conversation. And she asked what we were doing, and she said, "Well, I will thank you. I'm a former firefighter myself." And I was like, "Wow, that's weird how you just talk to people and then that connection is right there as well." So I'm hoping that they stopped by. I can't say whether they did, but no, a lot of, and then as the stage was being set up, a jogger from the neighborhood area was coming out, and I saw him like really checking out the stage. And so the paranoia walked in, like, shoot, is this going to be in someone's way? Is it not an eyesore? It's a beautiful stage. So I just asked him if he was there for the rock or anything. And he said, no. He goes, I do some events where I really think this is a cool stage. And so it's not even about us all the time. You know, this gentleman brought up the stage in a serious time of need and was super helpful about it. And not that I had anything to do with it, but it almost feels like a way to pay back. Like, shoot, who else can I find that might need a stage next summer? And so it's the big circle of share, take care. So, yeah, I don't know.
Well, I feel
Derek,
like we're
you were
in-
here, Mark, when Derek shared, right?
Yep.
Derek shared it with, I'm sorry, Texas Strong.
Operation Texas Strong.
Yep.
Operation, there we go. I feel like Mark when he can't remember the name.
Isn't that shoes on the other foot finally?
So weird. These are huge shoes, dude. Yeah, I think we covered it all. This is way longer than we did it. We've been talking for an hour, Peterson.
Perfect.
I don't even talk. I'm really shy.
It counts. It counts.
You did fantastic, Andrea.
Yes. You're awesome.
I seriously have to thank you guys. I have to thank you. Shad, I saw your messages and I'm like, I'm not even, am I awake? Did I touch that phone? Like, what happened? And what time is it? And then I was like, oh, the show. No, wait, we're not doing the show. No, if Shad didn't see the video, and then Derek chimed in, and Jen had called, and so these people hadn't even seen our video. I was like, I better get on it. I'll just at least say, hey, we're not doing a regular show tonight. So, and get it out there. And so really, Mark, I didn't want to interrupt your nice, quiet evening off. And I got to thank you two guys for, I did want to come on and say something, but I would never have done it on my own because you saw I was already nervous. But Mark,
thank you for rattling the cage. Thank you for rattling the cage.
To Patty's credit, when I went in to do the song and then the Pledge of Allegiance and even the banner at the beginning, he went and put things like in the order of the show, which I mean it probably was at one time, and then we just have so much in there. It was amazing. So Scotty, thank you for putting that stuff in order. It's super.
So you guys, you think I should keep Andrea around still?
Yeah, yeah.
I was thinking she should keep you around, but I don't know.
Thank you. I mean, what is Beast without the beauty, or vice versa? I don't know. I don't know.
I love it.
This is awesome, though. Yeah.
Can I sneak off to my dinner table?
Absolutely.
Oh, please eat your dinner. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll talk to you soon.
Patriot pride.
All right, guys. Peace
Laters.
out.
Bye-bye. Take care. Thank y'all.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. Have a great week.